What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Redemption with Jaden. We are getting right down to it today. So, like always, this video is sponsored by Your Turn Games. You can go check them out for any and all of your redemption needs, including singles and display boxes, especially of the new set, Times to Come. You can get that. Display boxes, you can get a buy booster pack, but I mean, display boxes are the most fun, right? You're guaranteed an ultra rare, but if you're just looking for a gift for somebody, you can buy a few packs here and there. And then, of course, we got the pre-built decks and card supplies. You can go check all this stuff out. Link is in the description below for yourturngames.biz. We enjoy collaborating, and by we I mean me and my channel, the Royal. We enjoy collaborating with them to support each other, going back and forth, working together on some of the pre-built decks that they offer, and being giving them business as well. I do come to Andy occasionally for picking up singles, and usually for picking up singles, and oftentimes getting some boxes as well. So that is the plug for Your Turn Games, who happy to be sponsored by on this channel. But I know that many of you, if you're spending money on redemption at this very moment, then it's probably not going to be at Your Turn Games or any of the other third-party retailers, because, and we still love you, Andy and Kelsey, and we're but I'm sure you guys are with us here. Maybe at least Andy is with us here and wanting to buy some of these fun new cards that are available now at the Cactus Game Design Square site, which is the where the fundraiser is set up and has been refueled with new stuff. And also we have some new tiers as far as what's available to achieve, I guess, as a community, as we put our money toward these fun products that we can enjoy and kind of get something out of, but we're putting in so that we can get more out of the game as a whole. And we'll talk about what those different things are, what those tiers are, what we're trying to accomplish through this fundraiser. But first, I just want to go through the different products on the fundraiser and what we're actually looking at here, kind of generate a little bit of hype, I guess, for them. Not that there wasn't already a lot of hype around them, but I'm going to be talking about each of the cards that are available here. So the first one, I'm going to go mostly in order after I talk about the exclusive ones, which a lot of you maybe know about or should know about if you're keep following along on Discord. But the most exclusive one, and also the most expensive bundle, or I guess option here, it's not a bundle, option on the fundraiser website, is a create a Roots 2 card. So by buying this option for $500, you get to create your own Roots 2 card. By you get to submit the name, make suggestions for how the card might appear in Roots 2. You have to pick the title of a non-dominant card from the classic era, so a scroll card, and then you get to, in addition to the title, you're able to suggest the brigade, stats, abilities for this card. You're allowed to choose 1 to 2 simple abilities, so abilities that would typically be printed on a beginner style card like a starter deck, or you can look at the first Roots expansion or set, I guess, to get an idea for what those abilities could look like. Won't include any modifiers, but this is kind of how the latest player created cards have worked from those when they've been offered at Nationals, when players win certain categories at Nationals. And so then, of course, once you submit, it's still up to the Elder team's discretion to make the card fit their current criteria, I guess, for how they're gonna design how they design cards these days. And so they're gonna try to keep it as close to the submission as possible, but there may be some things that are different from when you submit it to what you end up getting. So that is a pretty cool option, $500. So it's definitely not going to be there for everybody. Also, I saw that there wouldn't be any signification on the card of like who the person was that designed it or submitted it. So it'll kind of just be, what your, I mean, everybody will know, I guess, in that sense, like they'll, well, maybe not everybody, but people, the community will know, okay, this person submitted this card. Like I think that will become public knowledge. I'm guessing you'll even be able to be the one who can spoil it to the community once we get to spoiling cards from Roots 2. So I think that's going to be a cool opportunity. And this is limited because there are only 3 that were made available. We know for sure that one of them have been sold. So once the other 2 have been sold, then those will be all out. So the Elder team, the card creation team, they already have almost all the cards designed for Roots 2. I think they said that they already have 221. So they just need the 3 more cards to get to a full 224 card set that will be ready to go as Roots 2 whenever that's fully funded. And I think the plan is like as soon as it's fully funded, they're gonna send it and start getting it going in new packs and stuff. But it might also just be waiting until Nationals when we're getting a new set and other stuff to actually start seeing Roots 2 mixed in. I guess maybe for a while it'll just be Roots 2, and then maybe a little bit down the line it'll start being a mix of Roots 1 and Roots 2. So that I think will be pretty fun. If you're not familiar with Roots, it was just basically a filler set. Previously, redemption packs, they come in little sleeves of multiple cards. I guess I've got this one in front of me. I guess I'll just open as an example. I got it from a recent tournament. This wasn't supposed to be a pack opening video, but so this was a Fall of Man pack that I got from winning the online local. And so there's the camera. So in the pack, there are 2 sets of cards, I guess, or like sleeves with cards in them. One of them is the main set, so looks like I got a new beginning from Fall of Man, and the legacy rares are in the rare spot. So yeah, nothing too exciting here. Sorry, no ultra rare or anything, but there you go. You can see what I got. And then in the other one, previously what they had been doing is putting in scroll cards, so cards that were rotated out now, or that are now rotated out, so they're not going to be legal in most tournaments. And then for a while they were just doing like I&J starter deck cards and Rock of Ages 1026. So there were still rotation cards that were usable, but they weren't great for drafting, and just not overall that exciting to just get multiple copies of. So instead they made a new set, quote unquote set, filler set of Roots that was just kind of very basic cards, but they're great for drafting. A lot of them were classic cards that were redesigned, and so that's kind of where this whole thing came from, and that's what we're fundraising toward, at least for the first and third and fourth tiers of the fundraiser, which again, I'll get to that. So anyway, this seems like a really cool opportunity. One of the things I noticed, and I was one of the most recent players to be able to create a card for winning a national event, because they didn't do it last year, but they did it the 2 years before. Yeah, maybe haven't done it the last 2 years, or no, they did do it last year. I just didn't win one of the events that they did it for last year. So I created a card 2 instances ago, and the card that I created ended up being in Roots 1, Jaden the Maranothite. And one of the things I realized about creating a Roots card, which like a lot of the previous created card have been rares. Actually, I think all of them have been rares, if I remember correctly, in the set. So they're a little bit less frequent. But mine being a Roots card means that everybody's going to end up with like 20 of them, and not going to know what to do with them. which I think is kind of cool. So you will also have that opportunity if you get this $500 item of the fundraiser. Personally, I didn't find it super appealing. I've created a couple cards so far from those national things, and I kind of wanted to spend my money elsewhere. I don't do a whole lot of like card design, like card creation stuff, like for fun or anything. Like I'll have new card ideas occasionally, and I'll just jot them down in like notes that I have, and occasionally like put them together. But I haven't even really messed around with the Daniel card designer thing, which is really cool, and I really want to at some point, but just haven't gotten around to it. It's not like a passion of mine per se. I like abilities and designing new and creative things, but yeah, this wasn't one that particularly appealed to me. But I know a lot of you out there are really excited about card design kind of stuff. I know Card Game Fanatic, he was the one who was able to get the first one of these, and he was already brainstorming ideas for what silver card he wants to bring in. So I don't know. It's probably going to be a trumpet if I were to guess. I don't know. Seventh trumpet, maybe. Anyways, you will be able to do that if you are so inclined. And next up on our list of limited items, we have the serialized foil borderless Three Woes and serialized foil borderless Second Coming, which doesn't say in the title here, but you can see in the pictures they're also textless. So like the Son of God from the 2023 Nationals, it was the first place winner promo. That was textless. We now have Three Woes, and we have the Second Coming that are going to have the same treatment. They're textless, and they're going to be errated to have the same ability as their previous versions. The other cool thing about these that will differentiate them from that Son of God, which was also foil and borderless and textless, but these ones are going to be serialized. So there are a fairly limited number of those 2023 Son of Gods, maybe even fewer than 25, which is what there will be of the Three Woes and the Second Coming. But these ones are going to be marked as their number out of 25. So you can see in the corner here, I guess I can't really zoom in on the picture. Sorry. You can see that there's little like question marks here, and then out of 25, and so there are only 25 of them available. This is for each one. We can go ahead and look at the Second Coming here. And man, that's cool. Like, I feel like on Second Coming there's a little bit more to enjoy from the art. I mean, the John Martin Three Woes is pretty sweet. Maybe on the actual card you'll actually be able to see a few more of the details and like kind of that little area where the special ability box is usually covering, but it's a little bit hard to tell on the one here because it's just so dark. But anyways, these are going to be pretty sweet, and I am certainly excited to check them out, or well, to get them. I did. Oops, lost their Second Coming. There we go. I did make the purchase for both of these already. These are the only cards I've purchased so far. I'm definitely planning to get more, but I wanted to get these pretty much right away. I don't know what exactly their plan is for the numbering and who's going to get which ones, but I was like, well, it'd be kind of cool if I could get number one, right? So I was, right when the fundraiser was going live, I was sitting there with my phone refreshing the page until these were available, and I hope I was one of the first few. And I feel like there's going to be some numbers that will be more special than others. I don't know. I guess number one seems like it'll probably be the most, but like 2 out of 25 for Second Coming seems pretty cool. 3 out of 25 for Three Woes also seems pretty cool. So if I were to get like number two for Second Coming and number 3 for Three Woes, that'd be pretty sweet. But who knows? I don't know what they're actually going to be, what I'm going to end up with. Maybe I was second, I'll just end up with number 2 for both of them. We'll see. That would be all right with me. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just excited to have a copy of each of these. And because there are only 25 available, they are going to be removed from the site completely once all 25 copies are sold. So the fact that they are currently still up as of 10:22 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, the year of our Lord. That is the case right now, but as of the release of this video, who knows if they're still going to be there. I'm honestly kind of considering, like, well, now that people have had the opportunity, maybe I could go back for seconds. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of have to mull that over a little bit, because also, if you go back, the other cards from the fundraiser are still available, and I could get 8 copies of Three Woes and the Second Coming for the same price. And I would actually, want to actually use these ones, and so it feels a little reckless to do that. But I don't know. We'll see. See how deep I am in this game, and having single bachelor life money. it's not that much, don't worry. But it is expendable to some degree, because just at that spot in my life where I can spend more money on hobbies, I guess. But anyways, not to yeah, I should just cut that part out. I probably won't. But anyways, we can go ahead and talk about some of the other items. If these are still available on the fundraiser website, you might want to just pause the video now, and you can check out that. The link is in the description. You can go over there and you can go get these or pick these up if you want to, and they're still available. But if you go to the link and they're not there, you know why. So anyways, what else do we have in the fundraiser? We have the alternate art Lost Soul bundle. So interestingly, the Disoriented Lost Soul had a very a much more disorienting or just kind of weird Francisco Goya art, which a lot of Goya art is a little weird, a little out there. This one is relatively tame, I guess, now that they switched it over to this one after kind of having some second opinions, I guess, on the other art. So, and I think I approve of that decision. The other one was just kind of weird. You can go back in Discord and look at it if it's still up there in the spoiler channel somewhere. So we got Disoriented, we've got Grumbled, and then Shepherds to go with it. Grumbled and Shepherds, I think, are cool. I think they're losing a little bit of traction in popular, or like in meta decks, I think. But I think they're still definitely usable, and they're very good like budget options because they are available in the starter decks, and they are somewhat competitive. These end up going in a decent number of contender decks, and they're a good replacement option for Lost Souls like Prosperity, which is like $12, or Lawless, where it gives you a little bit of consistency. It doesn't net you any cards, like it's not a net positive, but it's filtering. So from a competitive standpoint, I think they are pretty decent, and so that seems to be why they were added to the fundraiser. The bummer about Lost Souls being in the fundraiser versus like Dominance is that now for Type 2, I'm going to want my Lost Souls to match, and that means I'm going to have to get 2 of these. So we'll see if and when that happens, but yeah, $50 for this bundle. Let's head back here. Let's just go to the next Lost Soul bundle. I feel like, I don't know, who needs to go in order? The next Lost Soul bundle is the Meek Daniel Lost Soul bundle, which is cool that they did this. I was actually kind of expecting them to do something like the tokens from the previous fundraiser, where it would just be like 7 Meek Daniel Lost Souls that were maybe $20 or something like that. But instead they are like fancy art Meek Daniel Lost Souls that are $20, and you get 3 of them, 3 unique ones. So I think that is cool. One of the plans that someone said they were planning to do on Discord is to buy 3 of these and then try to trade with other people to get 7 copies of the same one. I think that's cool, because so if you buy 3 sets, you're going to have 3 of the same one, and then if you find 2 other people who want to do this with you, you each get to keep 1 copy of each, but then you trade your 4 extras for the 2 copies that one person has, and 2 copies that the other person has, and you basically, you each end up with 1 copy of all 3, but 7 copies of one of them that you can use for like booster draft or your type 1 decks or whatnot. I think that's a pretty cool idea. So if you find other people that want to do that with you, and you can buy 3 of these, they're $20 each, then you can certainly do that. The I should mention, as we're doing this though, the expectation, they include the note here, the printer currently has a 3-month turnaround. So before you think like, oh, I can buy these and expect them to get them for my tournament next month, you're gonna have to be a little bit more patient. I know currently the LOC promo Daniel Lossel's, Meek Daniel Lossel's are $20 a piece, I think, just for one. So if you're wanting to build a deck with Meek Daniel Lossel's, it gets a little bit pricey. But yeah, in time you will be able to have these. And if you can find 2 other people to agree on which art from these 3 each of you want to get a full set of 7, then yeah, make that happen. Make some deals, do some wheeling and dealing. So let's go on to the dominant set here. I think that would be cool. We got another foil alternate art dominant bundle. So previously there was the foil dominant bundle that had, well, I mean, it's still available, that had Crowd's Choice, Harvest Time, and Star of Bethlehem. They were not alternate art, so you just got kind of the basic art, but it was borderless and they were foil, so that was pretty sweet. But these ones are all alternate art, sort of. Burial is more like classic art, which I guess is alternate from the current Burial, but also the current Burial does have this art in the background, so it is in there, but this is going to be, I think, kind of reminiscent or nostalgic for a lot of players who played classic Burial back in the day. So it's going to be kind of cool. Looking forward to this one. This buckler art is pretty cool as well. Kind of a updated, more like modern looking, but also more. I mean, the buckler, the shield itself is not like super modern looking, but it's got a lot more detail than the other art, our good old buckler art, which I don't know, maybe like can you get away from the classic buckler art? I don't know why I'm calling it buckler the classic buckler art. Can you get away from it? Maybe for this cool AI generated art right here. But and then over here we've got some mayhem going on, which this is definitely mayhem for sure. And I feel like part of what makes mayhem are the elephants that are in the art, in the classic art. So this now Cornelius it's just Cornelis Court. His art being in this one with the elephants, I think is very suitable. And this guy is just hanging out in the elephant's trunk and does not look like he's having a good time. I don't think he chose to be there, but yeah. This is a bundle that I'm also pretty excited about. I think these are all pretty cool. Burial goes well with all of your Meek Daniel Lossel's that you're picking up, so that'll be fun. That's one of the ones that I probably will only get one of, though. It's $100, and you don't need multiple copies of those for Type 2, so I'll be able to deal with that. This one, however, we got the good promo bundle. And good is in quotation marks there because Boaz a Sandal is technically a neutral card. However, it is to boost in offense, particularly the Ruth offense. So this one is kind of a way to make OT, or not OT, old promos that are in rotation but a little harder to get, going to make them more available. And they are particularly relevant as well, like Boaz a Sandal. Maybe not as much with, I don't know how many people are playing Ruth decks now, but Daniel's Prayer is definitely going up in usability, and how frequently you're going to see it with all the new Daniel stuff from times to come. And Storehouse just kind of, we needed a version that didn't have the big wide borders that Israel's Rebellion has. So I'm excited that they put this as one of the special promos in the fundraiser. And notably, it is the Israel's Rebellion version. I think they wanted to do the original promo version, and that probably would have fit better with kind of the theme here of kind of redoing these old promos. However, unfortunately, the old promo, the text, or like the special ability box, or like the special ability itself, I guess, doesn't fit the requirements that they now have for the layout or formatting of the text and the text size and all that kind of stuff. So that's why we didn't get a new one there. So maybe old Storehouse will just be a little more harder to get, I guess, and a little more of a chase card there. But it doesn't have that much more use, or it's got like different uses, I guess, than the new one. So it's nothing too crazy there. Similar to the last time the fundraiser was put out, we got a Jeff Haney Son of God, which is, this art is pretty sweet. This is a Daniel Son of God, which is definitely worth noting, I guess, now with all the times to come and Daniel synergy stuff going out. But yeah, this is pretty cool. You got the Lion of Judah in the background, and then Jesus here doing his thing. This is pretty cool. So Jeff Haney art he's the same guy who did the art on the baptism Son of God Jesus, this one here, which this one was also very cool. I picked up one of these for sure, and we're seeing something similar here, kind of the counterpart, I guess. To now you can have one for your New Testament gospel decks and wherever it is, and then one for your Old Testament Daniel decks or Ruth decks, or like if you're using David Hard Up for God, you probably want an Old Testament Son of God in your deck. So next up, we've got the alternate art spiritual warfare bundle. So this is kind of a themed bundle. We got some new cards: Gabriel Sent by God and Prince of the Air. New as in like new art and everything, which, I guess Gabriel is kind of old art. This is the classic Backyard Entertainment art that we had on the Kings and Warriors. Gabriel's from back in the day, but now he has the new ability that he had on Times to Come. So that is pretty sweet, definitely nostalgic for a lot of his classic players. And look at how the trumpet is going into the icon box. It's still behind the cross icon, but it's in front of the silver part here in the corner. Like that's pretty sweet. Some of the things that they're doing with the art and the layering now is very cool. So it would have been cool maybe if they just put like one of these beams like going over the special ability, like still readable, but I don't know, just throwing it out there, be kind of fun. So, and then we got Prince of the Air, which, funny thing is, this Spiritual Warfare bundle is $50. Prince of the Air right now, the regional promo that just came out this year, is $75 on Your Turn Games. So you can get a Prince of the Air plus Gabriel Sent by God and this War in Heaven from the fundraiser site for less money than just a regular Prince of the Air. So I don't know, maybe the fundraiser will help bring that price down a little bit, but hopefully if you are thinking of buying a Prince of the Air promo, you can wait 3-ish months to receive this one in the mail by ordering it shortly here. And then, of course, War in Heaven is the other one. It is not a new card available, actually. This was, I believe, the worker promo for 2023 Nationals. Was it the worker? Yeah, that sounds right. I don't know if they just had like extras available to be able to include them in this bundle, or if the plan was actually just to reprint them. I'm not like particularly excited about that. I mean, like, it's a very cool looking card, a very cool card itself. and so making it more available, especially because the original version was just in Revelation of John. I think that's probably why, or part of why. If it wasn't that they just had like extras of them, the fact that it's from a set that isn't really there isn't like widely available now. Like you can't buy a Revelation of John box except maybe at Your Turn Games they might still have one. I know Andy was saying they had Cloud of Witnesses and ROJ boxes. Was it more than one? I don't know. They had some back in stock, so you could pick those up if you wanted to. But yeah, War in Heaven might be a little trickier to get. It's not like a super expensive card or anything, but it might get harder and harder to get, a little less available over time as more people get into the game. And so it just made sense for this spiritual warfare bundle, if that's, that was the name of it, spiritual warfare. So why not add the War in Heaven, pretty much the namesake card, except for spiritual warfare from Angel Wars. Maybe that'd be kind of a fun create a card, bringing that back. So I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, War in Heaven coming back, pretty much the same exact card. I think even down to like the special promo thing as the worker promo Nationals one, which that was the part that was kind of a little weird to me. Is like, oh, it's kind of taking a little bit away from the special Nationals promo, because I'm pretty sure that the special promo just says special promo. I guess it will be different in the sense that it looks like this one does say 2025 Cactus Game Design, like with the copyright here. So the other one does say 2023. So you'll be able to distinguish them that way. So I guess, all right, that's good at least. They're not the same exact card. It wasn't that they just had some extras laying around from that tournament. But it looks like they are actually going to be new printed versions of the card, as far as I can tell. So that's cool. I'm back on board. And finally, our last bundle here is our Evil promo bundle, kind of the counterpart to the good promo bundle, which we had, which was the Boaz Sandal and Storehouse and Daniel's Prayer. Now we have Emperor Nero, Haman, and the Divining Damsel. All three promos that were released, I think more than 6-7 years ago. So they might be a little bit trickier to get. You might not see these if you go to a tournament these days as options. You're not going to see. I don't think they're on the host application anymore. So if you are hosting a tournament, I don't think you can offer these unless you have copies yourself that you can offer to people. So making these more available is pretty cool, especially Haman, because a lot of people are going to be wanting to play Persians now, and they're going to be wanting to play Haman's Plot, and Haman's Plot pretty much only good with Haman. I mean, it's still decent otherwise, but it's best with Haman because you can search it out and make it CBN. Seems pretty good. So yeah, I think this is going to be another bundle that I might have to get two of, just because you're probably going to want to run two Hamans and a Persians type 2 deck. I'm not entirely sure, but these other ones, probably I don't really see myself building any type 2 decks where I would want two of them necessarily, but Haman, he's kind of a central figure, so might have to go that direction. And I think I only have two of the original promos, so that might be kind of nice, because then I wouldn't have to switch back and forth from type 2 decks and type 1 decks and that kind of thing. So, and with that, the rest of the fundraiser stuff from the first iteration are still available, with a few exceptions, I guess. One being the accumulator tokens are no longer available here. So hopefully you've got all of the accumulator tokens that you need. And two, what was the other thing that was available that is no longer? Is that it? I thought that there was one other thing that people were talking about on the Discord today. Foreign Wives, that's what it was. The Foreign Wives Special Nationals promo, which the side event promo that didn't really get all that much traction at the national tournament. just because the side events were kind of hard to run. It wasn't, people we weren't really sure what to expect, or like the hosts weren't really sure, and elders, I guess, weren't really sure what to expect as far as participation for those. So that's what we ended up with. But yeah, those are sold out here as well. So yeah, if you want to head over to the fundraiser, pick up some cards. I'm planning to pick up the new stuff at some point, or the rest of the new stuff. I guess I got the serialized things, and I'm probably even gonna get a few more copies of some of the older stuff as well, like more like Three Woes, Second Coming. Those are just nice to have, especially if you're leading a play group, or you've got guys who maybe don't have access to the site, or if they're younger and maybe don't have the money on hand, or just kind of set up to make online purchases or whatever. You can make a deal if they open an ultra rare and their boxes or packs or something. Then you can have stuff available for trading to them that they would probably want, like Second Coming, Three Woes. So that is what I'm thinking. At some point, I will get around to doing here. As far as the tier list, I don't think it's actually on the website here yet. Anyway, yeah, still got to update this part here, that the funds raised will go to unique packaging for Gospel of Christ and Israel's Rebellion set. We got those already, so I'm sure that will be updated at some point here. This is all pretty fresh, and the main priority was getting up the new cards, which they're not even on the featured items at this point. But anyways, I'm gonna go to the Discord announcements here, and I guess I wasn't like super well set up for this, so I apologize in advance. Oops. I want to go to the announcement for the that was given on Discord for the fundraiser, that shows kind of what we're working toward as far as the tiers go. So let's go. We're almost there. We're so close. Thanks for hanging in with me. This is a video that's kind of being made on somewhat short time availability this week. So, all right, here are the tiers that we are funding. 8,800 cards, or $8,800. That would be a lot of cards. I don't know if they'd be able to keep up with that. $8,800. We get 112 Roots 2 cards. So that's kind of the very basic level. And Chris actually said today, at this point, he's pleased to already announce that just over an hour into the launch, we've already funded the first tier and are moving on to our second tier. So an hour after launch, we already had $8,800, which is pretty sweet. I think a lot of those were the serialized cards. Rob said that as of 2:30 Eastern time today, and today being Wednesday, there were 9 serialized Second Comings and 8 serialized Three Woes remaining. So if we do the math here, that's 17 remaining out of 50. So that's 33 that were bought at $200 a piece. So that's $6,600 just by themselves. So those people probably picked up some other cards as well. And yeah, so we got 112 Roots 2 cards already for sure that are in the bank. They've already got the set designed out to have 224, so hopefully we can hit these other tiers. The next tier is $6,000 to get redemption packaging for times to come and the 2026 set, which I guess we don't know the name of yet, but it is coming out, so we can be excited about that. So yeah, 6,000 to get packaging for both of those is pretty sweet. I think it was a little bit of a bummer that there was a lot of hype leading up to Times to Come coming out, releasing. It was very great looking set from a card quality, art quality standpoint, and there was a lot of build up to it, a lot of excitement, and the part that was just a little bit disappointing was the fact that there was no official packaging for it, which it's understandable with the tariffs, and that was mentioned to be a factor in that, and also just the fact that Redemption is a smaller card game. We haven't always had. I guess we've kind of gotten used to not having packaging for our the last few sets, or a lot of the recent sets, at least not having it right away. We now have packaging for everything up through Israel's Inheritance. Israel's Inheritance has this sweet packaging here with the arc being carried along. So the fact that Times to Come didn't have it right away was not entirely unprecedented or unexpected. It was just a little like, oh, well, we would have loved to fundraise something for this, initially, just to make sure it's available on Amazon, because it has to have its own packaging for that, and just like where people outside the game would be able to see it, and then once they see it, be like, oh, this game is cool, it's official, and it's a legit game, which they might not find out just from the packaging itself. So they might just end up buying more starter decks, which is good, and some of the older packs, but they're not getting the the newest, the flashiest stuff. Opening those foils. Maybe they will in Israel's Inheritance. So, anyways, so with if we're following along here, Chris edited this so we no longer have to do the math. Tier 2 complete total $14,800. So once we hit that mark, then we will have 112 Roots 2 cards, and we'll have packaging for Times to Come and the 2026 set. So that's something that's going to be cool, is that if we hit this tier mark, then the 2026 set will presumably release with official packaging. So that is pretty cool, something to look forward to. Then next up, our next tier is $4,400, which is makes sense, kind of just from a math standpoint. It's 112 Roots 2 cards at 8,800. At 4,400, we get 56, so half that many more additional Roots 2 cards, 168 total. And this tier, it doesn't exist. Don't worry about it. We're just gonna go right to the last one, which is an extra $4,300, so we get a little bit of a discount here. So let's just look at these two together. $8,700 for the rest of Roots 2 set. I think we're gonna hit this at some point. I hope we have to hit it by sometime in the spring, probably, in order to have them in time for release with the new set at Nationals, which would be kind of that would be the dream, the real hope, I guess. We're already sounds like about a third of the way there, or even a little more, maybe closer to half of the way toward this goal. After the fundraiser hasn't even been up for 12 hours, which is pretty sweet. I think that's really cool. But I know there was a lot of people that were just wanting to get to it right away, and so who knows how consistent it will stay, if it will just kind of big spike and then drop back down and kind of plateau a little bit, or if there will be spikes here and there. We'll see. But we haven't gotten an update as of now, the recording of this video. If we have, I will leave a comment, I guess, toward the top of the video. I'll pin a comment that has our where we're at right now, as whenever I make the comment. So $23,500. That's our goal. We're gonna get 224 cards in Roots 2, which is the same number that we had in Roots 1. And then it's weird calling it Roots 1. We just call it Roots, but I guess that's how they felt about the World Wars. So anyways, so we're going to have 112 cards for sure. We want to get to 224 total, and I think it's not going to happen until we get there, or we get to a certain cutoff point where they'll decide, okay, it's time to get Roots 2 going, and we need, we're just going to have this many cards because we didn't, hit the goal. But I think we're going to get there. So let's just not worry about it. Buy some cards. Um, and yeah, no pressure or anything, but if you are in a position to be able to pick up some cards and contribute to this, I think it's a really cool thing. See our community come together. It's not something that most card games have the opportunity to do. So, or just like the community or the fan base, I guess, to do. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about how this whole thing is going. So just to reiterate, Cactus Game Design Fundraiser, you can check out the link in the description below. Super excited about all of these things. You can go get the serialized foil, textless, borderless dominance if you are able to, if they're still available, and create a Roots 2 card. That's a pretty sweet option that's available. So with all of that said, I think that's where we're going to end things for today. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll catch you all next time.